Hello and welcome to my tutorial of my newest farm, the fully automatic cow farm. It's there are three parts to the farm: the storage area for the cows inside the water stream, the breeding station, and the automatic killing station. So how does this actually work? Let me quickly show you in survival. You go up to the breeding station, switch this lever, clock will dispense rapidly wheat into your inventory, and you just stand here and press your right mouse button, and the water stream will cause the cows to flow by this little window here, and you just feed the cows the wheat. They breed on the next possible block, and the little baby cows will fall through the water into the water sink bowl and will be transported to the killing station where they can grow up and will then be cooked. To make this really efficient, you need to fill up your inventory slots, everything but the very first inventory slot here. Okay, let's go back down here. The cows will be collected here. You can go up this little pedestal here and collect the experience from the breeding. And twice a day, a daylight sensor will cause a quick double pulse that will dispense lava on top of this signs that will kill all adult grown-up cows, and the baby cows will be left alone because they are just not high enough. And that's it. They die. And you get cooked steak and leather. Sometimes you get the occasional raw steak if one of the cows upstairs dies for whatever reason, but it should be rare, really rare. So I think it's time to go for the actual tutorial building this. Let's go over here and make a quick start. I'm going to build it up in the air. You don't have to. You can just as well build it underground. There's no reason why you should build it in the air. But I'm going to do it because it's easier to handle all the blocks. And okay, let's start with the actual sink bowl. We start with sink bowl. It's 3 wide by 14 long platform. And you need to surround that with a 2-block high wall of your choosing. You can use any block. There's no reason why it has to be glass. I'm just going to use it because I think it looks nice. You can actually look into the sink bowl and see the farm working. It's always nice if you can see things working. Now we need to select as one side that's going to be the back side and one side is going to be the front side. Because on that side, where later on the breeding station will be, I select this side here, you need to place 1 block each in the corners here. That's because that's for the water source. You set the water source on top of it, on both sides, which will create a constant water stream right to this edge here. Every mob, every baby cow that is falls into the sink bowl will be transported to this area here, this 2 by 1 block wide gap. But don't place the water source right now. You can do it if you build it in creative, but if you going to do it in survival, it's it's easier to place the water source last. Okay, now that this is placed, you need 4-block high wall um, of your, and you need to use a building block for this, something where you can place signs on, but it doesn't really matter what it is, just as long as you can place signs on it. Okay, now that the wall has been placed, we need to grab our signs and make three rows of signs all along this back wall here. The reason for that is we want a water current on the topmost layer running along here. But the problem, and we want water sources below that, as the water source below will function as a mop elevator and prevent any adult cows from falling through. But you can't make a solid or good water current on top of water sources. It doesn't work like that. But if you place the current first and then remove the signs and replace them with water sources, the current remains and you have a ground of water sources, just like we want it to be. So anyway, you have placed now these three lines of signs, and now place two lines of blocks right behind the topmost lines of signs. That is to prevent the water from falling, from flowing away. And actually place 3, we want it just as high. And then up here, one line of glass blocks. It has to be a transparent block. I'm using glass here, but it has to be a transparent block to prevent cows from suffocating. If they are pushed into the block, they might suffocate, and for that reason we need a transparent block in this place here. Okay, that is the one line. Later on here will be the breeding station, and on top of these signs the water will flow and the cows will be transported. And now you need to grab this row, this line, and get it back to the beginning. You can use you can go straight back to the beginning here, like I'm doing in this tutorial, but you can also one second. You can also go way overboard like I did here, and this current of this water current is 64 blocks long, and if you want a constant breeding, that means no downtime. Every cow that gets to this breeding station will be ready to receive another weed. Then you need at least 120 blocks, 130 blocks long line of water with 130 cows in it. But it might be a bit laggy for you. This is the smallest version, just one line up, one line down, 30 blocks long in total. Surround your possible water current with a solid one line of solid blocks and glass blocks to top it off. Okay, now for the water current themselves. You need to place two signs, one on the lower block and one on the upper left block, and place the water source right there. That way the water will flow on the right side and the left side is left alone, and you repeat this pattern where the water current stops, and place another bucket there, and you will see this water here and this source block here are connected, and the water flows uphills, and you could use that for a constant water transportation without using altitude in any way. And just repeat this all the way around until you get back to the beginning. Hey, voila. Now is the time to break the upper two lines of signs and replace them with water source blocks. You need to place source blocks. You can't just break them and let the water flow down from the top. If you let it flow down, then the cows will be flushed downwards, and they will not press spacebar and jump up. They will just flow down into the sink bowl, and eventually all your water storage area will be empty. Ah, come on. Okay. Now to finish it off, we need something to prevent the cows from jumping out of the water current. I'm using in this case iron bars, because I think it looks cool, and it's also a transparent block. That way the chance for the cows to suffocate is reduced as well. But you can also use half slabs or closed stone or glass, really something transparent that doesn't cause suffocation damage. Okay, I would suggest using, as a rule of thumb, one cow per one block of your water current. I have 30 blocks here, so I'm using roughly 30 cows in this contraption. You of course have to use to breed them and feed them into the system manually. I'm just going the easy way and use a dispenser and some cow eggs, because I'm in creative mode. I can do that. If you're doing it in survival, you of course have to do it the hard way. Okay, let's go to the feeding station. The feeding station will be on the corner where your cow current reaches the feeding line. This one here. It needs to be that way because the baby cows need to fall into the sink bowl, and only this line here has the water source blocks below, and allows the baby cows to fall through. So let's get a half slab. In here, place it upside here, and upside. Oh, I'm sorry. And downward facing half slab here. That way, you can have this little window here where you can feed the cows without any problem. Place one additional half slab right next to it. That is for the hoppers to collect all possible wheat that flows out of range. That way. 2 hoppers feeding into one hopper feeding in this one, and this hopper here feeding into a dropper. The dropper needs to face upwards that way into another dropper, and that dropper feeds into the last dropper right here that will drop the item on top of the player. 3 droppers, 2 hoppers. And now we need a simple clock that powers this 2 dropper tower, and I'm going to use a comparator clock for this. A repeater here will power this dropper, and also this power dropper will power the upper dropper and the lower dropper. So with one repeater you power the whole dropper line. And you don't need anything else. So we need a repeater here, fading that way, a block of redstone dust there, redstone comparator off in subtraction mode, and one line of redstone dust that way. Now when you place a redstone block here, the clock will run, and if you place a wheat in there, it will constantly loop around. Just what we want. Okay, and now the on and off switch will be done by a piston fading downwards, connected with a simple lever. That way. That way you can turn it on and off easy enough. Then you can, of course, hide everything, but that's just a personal preference. That's everything you need for the feeding station. Of course, you should block this side off, so the wheats only drop on this block and possibly on this block, but we have a dropper beneath that, so everything will be feed back into the dropper system. Now you can fill up these droppers with wheat, and you are done. Of course, if you want to, you can also hook some chests into this dropper for a longer period of breeding. Okay, let me quickly remove this. We don't need it anymore. There we go. And let's go to the actual killing station. Oh, I totally forgot. You can, of course, place now the 2 water source blocks here and here, because this section is done. Now take the drop chute a bit down, at least 3 blocks, so that any cow that is falling downwards will actually take a bit fall damage. That way we can guarantee that every cow is really killed by the lava that's dispensed. Otherwise you eventually have 1 or 2 cows that survive with 1 health left or something like that, and we don't really want that. We want an efficient killing system. Anyway, you need 2 dispensers. 1 here, filled with a lava bucket each. And of course 2 signs. 1 here and 1 here, right beneath the 2 droppers. And then 2 blocks of soul sand. right underneath the signs. That is the 2 blocks where the coast will drop onto, and because it's soul sand we can also collect any possible loot with the help of some hoppers. I'm going to just simply put them downwards into a double chest, but you can of course hook up a storage system everywhere you want. Doesn't really matter, you just have to grab the loot from these hoppers. I'm keeping it simple for this tutorial with just one chest. Perfect. So, now the daylight sensor double pulse. We're going to need a few sticky pistons, a redstone block at least, a building block, a daylight sensor of course, redstone dust is needed, torches, and that should be it. Place the sticky piston that way that in an extended position the arm will be right under the glass block, the other one right next to it. Then you need right behind the 2 dispensers 2 blocks of your building material. On top of those you need 2 redstone dust, and here you're going to need 2 torches that power these lines here. You can see we had now triggered the dispensers and we have some lava in the killing area, but that will change shortly, because we need now 2 blocks here with redstone dust in it that will feed into the block where the torch is connected to. That one should be mirrored on the other side, right here. And on top of that we place a redstone block, and on the other side one as well. The redstone block will power the redstone dust, which will turn off the torches. And behind those redstone blocks there will be a sticky piston. Because when we power this sticky piston, the redstone block will be pushed. In that moment the redstone block is broken, the signal is lost. We get a quick pulse on that torch, which will turn off the lava, and then the redstone will reappear, power this line again, turn the torch off, and reset it. Let me quickly demonstrate this and remove it. Of course now we have the lava there, we don't really want that. That way, it's gone. Perfect. So, going to need a block right behind the piston, right behind one below, and two blocks out, and connect those together. Then on the left piston two redstone dust, followed by the daylight sensor, 2 pieces of redstone dust, going into a repeater that powers the sticky piston. The repeater needs to be on full delay. That way we have a quick double pulse. Let me demonstrate that quickly. When the daylight sensor is set, this dust will turn on, power this piston, trigger the quick pulse, which will dispense the lava into the killing area, and the repeater delay later, the dispensers will be powered again and suck up the lava back. And quick demonstrators with a torch You can see a quick placement and removement of the lava, just what we want it to be. Okay, now the last part, the quick switch for manual harvesting and automatical harvesting. Go 2 blocks out behind the sticky pistons for the that are connected to the soul sand, and place a torch on those blocks. And on the edge of those 2 blocks you place another block here and here with a redstone torch on top of each, and a redstone torch also on the block going into that. Now when you power this block, this torch will turn off, the piston will retract, and also this torch will turn on, which will prevent any pulses from the daylight sensor to reach the dispensers. Now you only need to grab your signal and need a signal that powers these 2 blocks. I'm going to use some repeaters connected with dust, and then you can just get the signal to wherever you want it to be. I'm going to connect it this way around here and simply connect, oh come on, connect a lever to it. Hey, and now you're done. You have here, up here, the feeding station. Down here the automatic killing station that can be switched to a manual input. Okay. I totally forgot. If you want, where are the slabs? Come on. Here we are. If you want to use the manual option, you need to prevent the baby cows from running all over the place. You would need to grab some slabs, place the on the bottom half of the sandstone block all around the 2 hoppers, and then remove the corner 2 slabs. That way you can walk into this edge here, collect any possible XP and or XP, yes. And if you want to, you can remove the hoppers and collect also all possible loot if you want to really make it manual. Anyway, I think that's it for the tutorial. I hope everything was clear and understandable. And thank you for your time. See you next time.